He is the head coach of Texas Tech, Chris Beard, on the show. How are you, Coach?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
A pleasure to have you on. What's going through your mind right now? What's coursing through your veins, getting set to go to Minneapolis with the Final Four team?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of obsessed with one idea. Just how in the world are we going to score one basket against Michigan State?
Is that it? That's your genuine concern?
Yeah, they're really good, obviously, but I watch them as a fan for years, just game after game, and but now kind of digging in, you understand what they're all about. They're just really good, simply stated.
Yeah, well, I mean, my concern, I know how, let's put it this way. When you're concerned about scoring a single basket, I know how it feels. I know the sensation, Coach, because I had that feeling watching my team go against yours last Thursday night. What did you see in Michigan that you were able to exploit so expertly last Thursday night?
Yeah, I don't know if we exploited anything, but, our guys had so much respect for Michigan going into the game. So from a coaching standpoint, there was zero need to motivate or enhance how tough a game it would be. Our guys were locked in. I think they just passed the eye test with so many really good players and a great coach. So we just thought, we had to play team basketball. They had so many individual pieces on that team that we really wanted to try to just emphasize team defense every time down the floor. And so I thought our guys did about as well as you possibly could. We were fortunate. They missed some shots, but I think you got to give our guys credit because for the most part, most of the shots were contested.
I'm the first to give you credit. I mean, that was the best defensive performance I've ever seen with my two eyes. It honestly, Coach, I'll be honest. I thought at one point, because there were times where Michigan turned your team over, that I thought in the transition game there were 6 Red Raiders on the floor. There wasn't a single. I had to count. I literally did count at one point to see if you had an extra person on the floor because of the way that your team drops back and plays shutdown, certainly on the perimeter. How do you teach that? How does that get taught?
It's just our identity. We try to recruit the defense. We spend the majority of our time every day in practice on it. But we just, it's kind of in our DNA. I think you got to give our players a lot of credit. We had multiple guys on the all Big 12 defensive team, and it's just who we are.
Chris Beard, Texas Tech head coach here on the Rich Eisen Show. What influence does Bob Knight have in your coaching style right now?
Oh, a lot. I mean, my years with Coach Knight and Pat, were special. It's like I said it earlier this week. It's just so true. It's like giving a PhD every day, in coaching, whether it be in practice or the meetings or, just watching Coach and Pat on and off the court. So, I'm really proud of my association with Coach Knight. I think, at the top of that list, all of our guys graduated. I thought Coach did this at the highest level, about as good as you can possibly do it over many, many years. And, 3 different institutions. I think most people associated success at Indiana, which is understandable, but, we had a really good run here at Texas Tech, 3 NCAA tournaments and Sweet 16. Coach won a lot of games here too as well.
Has he, did you hear from him over the weekend?
I have not heard from him in the last couple of days, but he's been great. Actually heard from Dick Vitale this morning on a event that he's doing in May for the Jimmy B Foundation. And he had mentioned that he had talked to Coach maybe even earlier today, and Coach said some great things about our team. So he's been unbelievably supportive since we came back to Lubbock, and it's just been a blessing, having him around. We got one of Coach's former players, Daryl Doors, a graduate assistant on our staff, working towards his master's degree, and Daryl stays in touch with him often, but Coach has been nothing but supportive.
And who have you heard from that you were surprised to have heard from?
Yeah, that's a cool question. You just kind of hear from people like, one example of many, Coach Charlie Strong. I had great respect for him. Really started following his teams when he was coaching football at Texas, and then have kind of become just kind of text message type friends with him. And he reached out, but it's really cool just to really hear from, the people that you kind of respect what they do. Another example would be Des Bryant. He's an old Big 12 guy, hasn't played at Oklahoma State. And he said some great things about our team these last couple of days. So March is special for so many reasons, but to hear from some people that you probably wouldn't hear from on a normal Monday is pretty cool.
Yeah, Dez hit you on your phone?
He didn't hit me personally, but he's
Okay.
been really complimentary of our team, and I think our guys are kind of in the process of trying to reach out to him.
Chris Beard, a few more minutes with the Texas Tech head coach here on the Rich Eisen Show. You came into the tournament off of a shocking loss to West Virginia. Did that help? Do you think that helped your team?
Yet to be determined. Our goal has always been to get to Monday night and then try to play our best game of the year on that Monday night. So I think if we're fortunate enough, and it's really easy to talk about, but almost impossible to do, but if we were fortunate enough to give ourselves a chance here in these next 2 days, then, yeah, I would be a big, big fan of getting beat every year in the tournament, first game, Big 12.
When's the first time you laid eyes on Jarrett Culver, Coach?
I had known of Culver. He's from Lubbock, and obviously I lived here in Lubbock for a long time. And when we were coaching at Arkansas Little Rock, we saw him on the circuit. Knew he was going to be a high major recruit, so we didn't recruit him at Little Rock, but I was aware of him. He was the first phone call we got when we came to Texas Tech. First recruit, first phone call, and the whole deal. But I've known about him for a long time, having lived here in Lubbock. There's a deal called like Bells and Bows or something. Like kids in Lubbock, go to some kind of formal and stuff when they're little. But I want to say that my oldest daughter, Avery, who's a freshman at Columbia University right now in New York City, I think she grew up with Jarrett in the same kind of time frame. Now, they weren't classmates or anything, but I think there was a Bells and Bows dance at some point where Jarrett Culver was there on the same day my daughter was. And I got to get a picture of that. If anybody's out there in Lubbock listening, I need that picture.
And send it right your way. That's awesome. That's funny. What about other than just this team, your future? Obviously, got a couple years left in your contract. There's a lot of conversation about you and what you have been able to do. What can you tell us on that front right now, Coach?
Oh, it's always just a real easy question for me to answer. I'm just a guy that just really enjoys, every day. And I know it kind of sounds cliche, but it's really what's, been a big part of my path and really all of our coaching path. 4 or 5 years ago, I was coaching at schools that you've never heard of, but still having the time of my life. And, basketball is everything, but I just try to kind of approach each day and live it out to its fullest. We tell our guys all the time, man, enjoy the ride, not just the destination. That's certainly what we're trying to do this week as well.
Well, obviously, if you want to expand your horizons, we've seen your fireside chats on Facebook, Coach. I'll be honest with you. As a broadcaster, I'm hearing the footsteps. I'm hearing the footsteps of what you've been able to do. Who is your inspiration in these fireside chats that you host?
I think a little bit of everybody. Above and all, so our thing here at Tech is we're trying to connect with our student body, and we had an idea about a year ago. Is there any way we can kind of just reach out to them on social media once a week? And then somebody floated the idea of fireside chat around the office. So, but it's been a lot of fun. It's really connected us with our students. We've had a lot of fun with it. It's probably one of the best things we've done this year in terms of increasing attendance and awareness of basketball in Lubbock. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you're a natural, if you don't mind me saying. I think you're really good at it.
What we pride ourselves in mostly is we call it one take. We've never done a second take of those. That's got us into trouble from time to time,
right?
Just with some inaccuracies. It's kind of like that deal in politics where they check everything you say and see if it's legit. I mean, if the fireside was ever checked on statistical facts, we might be in trouble, but we do take a lot of pride in being a one-take operation.
Well, there's no do-overs in sports. I mean, you're a coach. You know that. So
exactly.
One take coach, that's the way it's only got to be. I mean, you can't just do it over again,
That might be next year's koozie, this year we give a fireside chat koozie to all the students. And next year it might be fireside chat. There are no do-overs.
There are no do-overs. Hey, look, if that's the way it goes, I don't want any cash out of it. Okay, I just want just a little bit of credit. That's all I'd want. Just a small bit.
Well, that's the least we could do. We'll send you a couple dozen of the koozies.
Hey, it's the least, and I will have several beers in that koozie to drain away the sorrows that you helped create in the Sweet 16 game for me and all my Michigan friends.
Yeah, speaking of beer, somebody was asking me this morning about, just the Final Four. And so, I've been really fortunate these last couple of years with these jobs, that pay so well. And all of my buddies, when we meet at the Final Four every year, all my JUCO friends, D2 friends, everybody, I picked up the tabs the last couple of years. So this is like a win-win. Our team gets to play in the Final Four, and I don't have to pick up ridiculous tabs with everybody.
Well, and that's great, especially since if you can get further contractual status out of this and also save on the bar tab. You did drop that your daughter goes to Columbia, so you definitely, it's good.
Exactly.
Hey, Coach, congrats on everything that's going on. 2 Elite Eights and a Final Four in your first 3 years on campus there. Just all sorts of good stuff. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thanks for calling in. That's Chris Beard, Texas Tech head coach.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.